They can cry, but you can't yell. The unseen rules that keep you suppressed in love. Once in a quiet village nestled beneath rolling hills, there lived a young woman named Lila. She was known through the town for her gentle heart and serene smile. No matter the weather, no matter the day, Lila always appeared calm, her voice soft and her presence peaceful. She had a special way of soothing the people around her, always ready to listen, always ready to offer a kind word. But beneath her quiet composure there was a storm. Lila had learned early in life that people in her world only knew how to cry, to show their sadness, to express their hurt. And so she became the person who wiped away tears, who held others in her arms, who listened without ever raising her voice in anger. For years she believed this was the way to love. She believed that to truly care she must never cause a stir, never challenge or confront the emotions of those around her. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the stars began to shimmer in the sky, Lila sat on her porch, watching the world settle into the quiet of the night. Her neighbor, Samuel, approached, his face tight with frustration. "What's troubling you, Samuel?" Lila asked gently. "I can't take it anymore," he said, pacing. "My father never listens to me. He always brushes off my concerns, and when I try to speak my mind, he shouts at me. It hurts, but no one seems to really care. I feel like I'm being suffocated by my own words." Lila nodded thoughtfully. She knew the feeling well. The soft kindness that had always been her shield had kept her from expressing her own pain. It was as though there were an invisible rule. They can cry, but you can't yell. For years she had suppressed her own voice, trying to maintain peace at any cost. When anger rose within her, she would swallow it whole, telling herself it was better to stay silent than to disrupt the harmony of her relationships. But that evening, as she listened to Samuel's words, a realization began to take root in her heart. "The things you hold inside," she said softly, "can often be the very things that destroy you. If you bottle them up, they fester and grow, turning into something much harder to release later." Samuel stopped pacing and looked at her, surprised by the depth in her voice. "But what if I upset someone? What if they can't handle my anger?" Lila paused. She thought of all the times she had held her hurt inside, all the times she had smiled when she wanted to scream. "The world may not be ready for your anger, but that doesn't mean you must bury it," she said, her voice steady but filled with conviction. "True connection only comes when you can show all parts of yourself, even the parts that seem too strong or too raw." That night, as Lila lay in bed, she reflected on her conversation with Samuel. She realized that her life had been governed by an unspoken rule that had kept her limited, that had prevented her from showing the full spectrum of her emotions. She had always been the listener, the one who soothed others, but in doing so she had suppressed her own truth. Her silence, her fear of anger, had kept her from forming the deep, authentic connections she truly longed for. The next moment, as the sun broke through the trees and bathed the village in golden light, Lila stood at the edge of the forest, her feet grounded in the earth. She took a deep breath and made a quiet promise to herself. "I will no longer suppress my truth. I will speak when I need to. And I will allow myself the space to feel all of my emotions, not just the ones that are easy." And so with each passing day, Lila began to change. She spoke when she was hurt, not with anger, but with honesty. She no longer worried about upsetting others with her emotions. As she did, she found the world around her did not crumble. Instead, people began to relate to her on a deeper level. They too began to express their full selves, no longer trapped by the fear of how their feelings might be received. Lila's transformation was quiet, like the soft unfolding of a flower at dawn, but it was also painful. Painful, yet powerful. And in that power, she found not only freedom, but a deeper, more genuine connection with the people she loved. As you drift into sleep tonight, think about the unspoken rules in your own life. What emotions have you hidden away, believing that you must remain calm to keep the peace? What might happen if you allowed yourself to feel fully, to express your truth without fear of what others might think? Remember, true connection comes not from silence, but from the courage to speak your heart, even when it is hard. Let your heart breathe, and know that it is safe to be all that you are. Good night.